Welcome back to Girls Unfiltered with Emma and Katie. I'm Emma.
And I'm Katie.
And we're sisters and we love to talk all things
health,
relationships,
mindset,
friendship,
fitness,
personal development,
and so much more.
Today's episode is all about dating and relationships. We're going to give you all the juice, all the tea about our experiences.
Yeah.
So first, we start every episode with our highs and lows of the week. So Katie, what was your low of the week? We'll start with the lows so we can work our way up.
Well, honestly, I had a pretty good week. But I guess the low would be like, I haven't really had a day off this week. We're just in a season where we're busy. It's the end of the uni semester, so I've got a lot of uni assignments.
What do you define as a day off?
Like a day to do like
Nothing.
Yeah, I had days off work.
A day of rest, yeah.
Yeah, but like I've had days off work, but those days off work has been spent doing work, like uni work.
Yeah.
And stuff. So yeah, feeling a bit tired, a bit exhausted. And then
busy
realizing that I start work tomorrow and then
starts all over again.
Yeah, I won't get to sleep until Thursday.
My low of the week, well, today's Saturday, last Saturday, if you watch our last vlog, that would have gone up before this. I was in hospital with a burst ovarian cyst. So I've had all this week off work and I still am in quite a bit of pain. I might have to get my hot water bottle at some stage during this because I feel a bit crampy. But yeah, it's been a full week. I've had the whole week off work. Couldn't move, could barely walk, was on hefty painkillers, feeling drowsy, like constantly in the most excruciating pain. It just feels like really bad period cramps, constant, 24/7, all the time. It hasn't been fun. What's your high of the week? Or do you want me to do mine first? I'll give you some time.
To go like back and forth is good. One of them, probably getting all my gym workouts in.
And what sort of gym workouts did you do?
Strength training. One upper, one lower, one full body. Finishing my assignment. I don't know. I think my week's been busy, but it's been good. I think actually uploading our podcast to Spotify.
Yeah, that was
I think that was the high. I think that's high.
Hello to all of our Spotify listeners. If you're listening from Apple Podcasts or our YouTube watchers.
Yeah.
If you're a YouTube watcher but would like to listen to us in the car, we'll put the link in the bio.
Yeah.
Follow us on Spotify, subscribe on Apple Podcasts because we're like a proper podcast now.
Yes. So that's like a milestone.
I didn't even think to mention that.
And I was like, woo!
Yeah. No, that was exciting.
And I kind of uploaded.
And we've been loving editing at the moment. Like we're editing our own YouTube videos again, which is work, but fun.
Yeah. I think my high is probably like uploading the podcast, more content creation.
Yeah.
It's been a good week for me.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, I think the high for me is, even though my low is quite low, like being bedridden essentially all week, I've really loved using that time to read. I've been reading 2 books and I've been loving that. Excuse me. Also watching TV, my comfort show, Gilmore Girls. I have been craving to continue my rewatch because I rewatch Gilmore Girls probably like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was rewatching it like earlier in the year and I just stopped last year I was rewatching it while I was marking papers and then I just stopped watching TV in general and then I was more watching YouTube. But because I had already watched all up to date with YouTube, I started watching Gilmore Girls while I was laying on the couch, and that's something that's good too because even when I'm feeling really drowsy, I can close my eyes while still watching it and then open my eyes and wake up and know exactly what's happening in the show. Like I haven't missed anything. Yeah. So it's something that's like very comforting. I can nod off to, I can go to sleep to, that sort of thing. So I've really enjoyed that. I'm gonna take off my jumper, it's too hot here. What's your favorite Gilmore Girls episode? I have 2 favorites.
You have specific favorite episodes?
Yeah, I have 2.
Oh,
3. Maybe 4.
I do like when she graduates high school.
I like when she graduates high school. I like when she breaks up with Dean.
Oh, I know it. You like the dance.
The dance-a-thon. When she breaks up with Dean and Jesse's, the dance-a-thon episode. And a recent episode, I just watched the end of season 3, I believe. The season closer is when Lorelai opens the dragonfly. That night, her and Luke kiss for the first time.
Isn't that season 4?
No, it's season 3.
She graduates high school.
Yeah. It's in the same season.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't think they kissed then.
And then it's the opening of the dragonfly. When Jason comes in, they kiss, Luke and Lorelai. But that's the same episode.
Before Jason comes in the picture?
No, after. They broke up, Jason.
But isn't that season 4? Because Rory's at Yale.
Yeah, Rory's in Yale in season 3. I swear.
No, 1,
Okay, we need to look this up. What season am I up to?
Season 4.
Maybe it is season 4.
It's season 4. Season 3.
Are you sure?
She graduates.
Oh, yeah, that's the season. Okay, hold on.
was
Where
like,
am I
that
up
is too early.
Yeah, that's true.
It's season 4.
I'm just gonna check which episode I'm up to because I don't want to spread misinformation. Also, if you're currently watching Gilmore Girls and don't want any spoilers, just skip ahead for a sec because we're gonna talk about some juicy
But
stuff.
surely you've watched Gilmore Girls.
I know,
This
like,
way.
why else would you be here if that's also not your favorite show?
Well, like, it's
That
been
would
around
be
for a while. I
a
feel like
bit-
if you haven't, get on it because you're living.
Also, if you haven't, this probably will make zero sense to you anyway.
Yeah, but also, like, if you haven't, please go watch it. 'cause
It
the
is
best.
top notch.
It's
the
like
humor as
quality.
well. Like we watched it when we were in high school, but
Yeah.
I understand some of the humor. Like some of the jokes went a bit over my head.
Well, you pick up so much. The more you watch it, you just pick up on so many things.
Yeah.
That, like, you didn't
Oh yeah. So I'm up to
before.
it's the end of season 4. You're right. So yes, the end of season 4. Okay, so the season 4 finale. So my favorite episodes, the dance-a-thon scene, which I think is season 2. Dance-a-thon.
Yeah.
And she breaks up with Dean, gets with Jess. My other favorite one is when she graduates high school. Like that's an emotional episode.
It is.
That's the season finale of season 3, I believe. And the season finale of season 4, which imagine being in the time and having to wait a whole few months.
You'd be like rooting
So
for
yeah,
Luke
so
and Lorelai.
it's Luke and Lorelai opens the dragonfly in. Luke and Lorelai kiss for the first time, but that's also the episode where Rory sleeps with Dean. Yeah, because we were talking about it. When things are good for Luke and Lorelai, things are shit with Rory and Lorelai. Like with
I think
their
which is
relationship.
why it makes it hard for Luke and Lorelai to get things off the ground because of the timing.
It's all
They go,
So yeah. It's a lot. But yeah, that's our all-time favorite show. Yeah, what are your favorite Gilmore Girls episodes? And then I think when she graduates Yale is also a good one, but also the whole Logan situation and him proposing just grinds my gears.
No, I like when she graduates high school.
Yeah.
I don't know because I like
My favorite
a lot.
era is when Jess also comes back and randomly runs up to her and says, "I love you." So I was asleep when I watched that for the second time, so I might have to go back.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched like all of them in a
a while.
but I definitely like her graduation ones.
Yeah.
A lot. But
Yeah, and also in the very last episode of the whole show, how they close out the entire show. Just thinking about it, I have goosebumps and tears when she's about to leave, and then it's raining and the tarps, and they all get back. Yeah, I get goosies thinking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we're going to do a little Would You Rather dating edition as a fun little segment to get us
This
started.
episode is going to be all about dating.
Dating and
relationships.
Okay, so Would You Rather dating edition. So you'll go first, and then I'll read the question.
I'll say
you
mine.
answer it, then I'll say mine.
Yeah.
Would you rather date someone with no phone, they don't have a phone, or someone who's constantly glued to their phone?
No phone.
Yeah, I find that hard because I find it really hard not to contact people.
But they'll be so more present with you.
Yeah, I think I'd go no phone. I can just get a bell for them or something, get an air tag, so I can put it in their
Surely
shit.
if you have good, solid communication,
Yeah, you know where they are at
it'll
what time.
be fun.
Yeah, trust is important. Okay, date someone super hot with no banter, or average looking and incredible banter.
Average looking, incredible banter. It's about the
Same.
connection. Banter, like,
Yeah. And also, average looking doesn't mean ugly.
no,
Like, yeah.
they're just,
They're
not
just
like
your
a
average
model.
Joe Blow.
Like, like,
They don't look like Ken, which isn't my vibe anyway.
yeah.
All right, would you rather go on a fancy dinner date or a spontaneous road trip?
Spontaneous road trip.
See, I thought about that. Like, I'm not all about fancy dinner dates, but then also like the anxiety of someone just coming to your house, like not someone, but like your partner or your boyfriend or a guy, just say, pack up your things, we're going. I'd be like, I have plans tomorrow. I
I'd
have
be
stuff to do.
thrilled.
I'd be freaking out.
But also, if they plan it well enough, cause
Yeah, if they actually
is it spontaneous for you, or is it like, well, like surely they'd pick a good time
like a
for
surprise.
you, even if it is spontaneous.
I think from a partner, yes. From just a date, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for you, if Aiden were to say, okay, I've organized a trip, pack up your things,
I'd
let's
be
go.
like, perfect.
For me, if it was just some dude I've been on 5 dates with, I would be freaking out.
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah. Okay,
Okay,
you don't
yeah.
want to, anything weird
Yeah.
happening.
Would you rather get a good morning text every single day or a surprise date once a month?
Surprise date.
But that means you
once
get
a
no
month.
good morning texts. But you
That
live
means-
with
I was about to say,
Imagine
if
if
you see
you
them
didn't.
enough, if you talk, but like if they don't give you good morning text, they'll text you throughout the day.
True. They could give you a good afternoon text
I would
instead.
rather them put an effort
surprise date.
in like
Yeah.
spending time than texting
Yeah,
me.
definitely.
My love language is quality time, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick all the ones that's spending time.
Would you
with them.
rather be ghosted or get a brutal, honest rejection?
Get a brutal, honest rejection? Because
Fun fact, Katie's never faced rejection in dating.
I've been broken up with
Yeah,
though,
that's true.
but like yeah, No, I think I'd rather get rejected because then you know at least how they feel, and if the ghost, you're kind of left like wondering.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
But then you can easily get over it.
Ghosted is the easy way out, though.
Yeah.
The brutal, honest rejection would
Could
take
hurt.
time to heal and could hurt. But I would say brutal, honest rejection because then it's done. You rip the Band-Aid off. It'll take you time to heal, but you're not left wondering why.
Also, it's like a learning experience.
But it depends.
then.
Like, I've been ghosted and I've also ghosted people, and it is the easy way out. But also being ghosted, sometimes it sucks if you're being ghosted and you're really interested in someone. But if you're someone that you're just talking to them and you're ghosted, I'm not wondering why.
Also,
I could care less.
I was about to say, probably depends where you're at. Like,
Yeah.
you might ghost someone if you've only talked to them like once.
Yeah.
And like they might not deserve that brutal,
Yeah, like if you're
honest
just in a talking stage, ghosting, it's like whatever.
explanation.
Wasn't even that invested. But if you're like, you've gone on like a date or 2 or 3, probably more than 3 dates, I would say
Yeah.
brutal, honest rejection.
However, it's not
Courteous, yeah.
courteous to
Yeah,
let
I
them
don't believe
know.
in ghosting people. But I think, yeah, just saying, hey, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But a brutal, honest one, that could be rough.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather fart on a first date or have your date fart?
Have your date fart.
Yeah, because
I think I could handle that better.
Yes.
Than me fart. I feel so embarrassed.
Same.
But someone else, I'm like, I don't care.
Same.
So-
And I also think I would be quite cool about it. I would make the person feel comfortable. Like
Yeah.
if they farted, I would just laugh about it. Or if it really smells, I'll just be like, excuse me for a sec. I'm just going to go grab something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you let it
You
air
can
out.
control your reactions. You don't know how other people are
Yes.
going to react.
And also the whole thing, like, girls don't fart. Like, I want to keep that until at least, like, I'm comfortable sitting on the couch with them watching a movie and you accidentally
Yeah.
read it. Like, yeah.
better
Can you
for the
remember? Do you
male to
remember
do
the
it.
first time you farted in front of Aiden?
I was definitely like at his parents.
Was it like how far
together.
in?
Not that far in. Months.
You just let it slip.
Maybe?
Some people
I
purposely.
but also too when I laugh, like sometimes the farts
Oh,
just
yeah, that's
come
what I mean.
out.
Like, you wouldn't purposely, like, have you, like, do you remember the first time you purposely farted in front of him?
No.
Or was
well, I guess the ice was broken. Once you do it once, it's like the ice is broken. You can do it.
So, yeah, once you let it slip once, you would just be like, sorry, lift a cheek and do it.
Well, a lot of time I would like go to the bathroom or toilet
Oh, but if it's an ensuite.
and fart in not in the
Oh, no.
ensuite, but just go.
I always
Say I
hate-
need to go to the bathroom
I always
and then
hate
go and fart in
if
the
you're,
bathroom.
like, at a guy's house and you need to, like, pee, but you need to fart and they're in the room, like, it's an ensuite.
Yeah, so
That's so awkward. I'm like,
yeah.
I used to get like stage fright. I never get stage fright. Katie
Yeah.
knows this. I can pee anywhere at the drop of a hat. In an ensuite, when a guy's outside there waiting for you and he can hear you, I couldn't pee. I couldn't. That was long time ago. Yeah, I think I would be really cool if someone farted, whereas someone else, you can't control someone else's reaction. Alrighty, would you accidentally like an old photo while stalking someone, like on Instagram,
Yeah.
or send a risky message but send it to the wrong person? So like confessing like you like them, but send it to the wrong person.
I think
And it's not sending it to a friend. It's
No.
sending it to like another guy.
I think accidentally liking a photo of someone
Yeah.
stalking.
because that means nothing.
Yeah.
A risky text message means
Oh,
everything.
that would be so much more embarrassing than like a liking photo too. You don't know, like you don't get a response back, like a message. You're expecting a response back.
Well,
you
also,
liking something, they're not going to respond.
What if you
to that.
realize you didn't realize that you sent to the wrong person, and then they reply?
Oh gosh, it's killing me. It's not even real. I'm like, ah.
All right. Would you rather never fight in a relationship but feel disconnected, or argue often but feel passionately in love?
Argue and feel passionately.
Yeah.
At least if you argue, what did we watch? What did we watch where
They wouldn't
didn't
fight
work?
for each other.
Yes.
Oh,
what was it?
Oh no, we were listening. Oh no, it was in Happy Place.
Oh yeah.
So we were reading the
I
book
was
Happy
listening
Place.
to the audio
Yeah,
book. That's
and then-
why I'm probably thinking I
Yeah.
watched that, I heard it.
So Wes and Liz.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, wouldn't you want to? If you love someone passionate, it's like, wouldn't you want to fight for them or fight with them because you care so much?
Yeah.
It's like like. If someone's like, you don't fight but you're disconnected, it's like, well, then they
What's
don't
the point?
care.
Yeah, you want them to care.
Yeah.
Would you rather marry your best friend but there's no spark, or someone with intense chemistry but you don't have a friendship? Like you don't have the baseline of a friendship, like the foundation friendship, but you have intense chemistry but no friendship beforehand.
Probably intense. I don't know. That's a hard one. Maybe intense chemistry. I find like best friend but there's no spark would be a bit sad over time. But also it could be like you still enjoy each other's company and a great companion, but I think you'd want that spark.
See, I've done someone with intense chemistry but no like foundations, and I think to me that doesn't work. So I'd rather marry your best friend but no spark, because I now have changed my mind. I don't believe in there being sparks, because when there's sparks and fireworks, it's mainly lust. It's not like everlasting love.
Yeah.
You want someone that you can be with long term, that you actually enjoy their company constantly, and you would grow an attraction. You would grow, like you still love them, but there's no instant spark. But that's because you've been friends. Like, wouldn't you rather have a foundation?
Yeah, definitely
you can't build a house with no foundation.
Yeah, definitely that. But you would saying like rather if.
Yeah,
like,
well, I'd rather
have
a better friendship, because then you love and care, rather having no friendship and just a big spark, a huge intense chemistry.
Yeah, no, I would
like
that.
Chemistry isn't everything.
I thought about it wrong.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's purposely worded a bit tricky.
Yeah.
To like get the thoughts out.
Yeah.
All right, would you rather know the exact day you meet the one, or let it happen randomly?
Let it happen randomly.
Yeah.
I think that's too much pressure knowing.
Because I thought originally I'd want to know, but then what if it's not till I'm like 85? That would be so discouraging.
Yeah. No.
Like, so I just let it happen. Because that's the thing. That's the exciting thing about life. You never know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm starting to shift the mindset. Every time I leave the house, something good could happen. You don't know. You got to try.
Yeah.
You got to leave the house.
Yeah.
You got to explore. And you never know what can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Anything can. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay.
It's never a podcast episode if we don't sing a little song. Okay, last one. Would you rather? This one's a bit spicy.
Okay.
Not super spicy. Just a little bit. Date someone good in bed but bad at communication, or someone really good at communication but bad in bed?
I think we're. Oh, well, the thing is, couldn't they get better?
Yeah, I think so.
Either way, but
you can teach them, but it's a lot of effort to teach someone how to be a good communicator, especially if they don't like communicating.
So that's why I'm thinking good communicator, bad in bed.
Because you can teach them how to be
better in bed over time. Over time, it does get better.
Yeah.
So,
it's like, what would you rather teach them? Communication or...
Communication's painful, but then if you just go to therapy, if they're willing to go to therapy, that might help.
But if they're a bad communicator, they probably aren't.
And if they're a bad communicator, are you really going to get the good sex?
True.
So
which one would you choose?
Good communicator.
But bad in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, to me, like, that's not I'd rather be able to have someone that's good communicator and I can spend really great time with.
Sexes and everything.
Like, obviously, it's important. And it's important to be satisfied, but surely you can work something out to
you can
get
teach
somewhere. But bad communicator, you're going to be left feeling like shit, upset.
Do you need a comfort pillow?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I like a comfort pillow.
Yeah, you could be left feeling like upset. Like, I feel like that would hurt more emotionally.
Yeah. Also, if they're good and better and a bad communicator, you still might feel shit after being in bed because they can't communicate. Yeah.
What if they good and then they didn't communicate that they have plans and gotta leave you?
Or they don't communicate that you were good. They don't say like, "Oh, that was good," and then you're laying there wondering,
and then you're left hanging.
Does he like me? Does he want to be with me? My anxiety couldn't.
Good communicator.
It struck up some good conversation.
It did.
Okay, so now we're thinking to talk about dating, where it started for us. Like first date, first kiss, awkward, young vibes of your introduction. Because me and Katie have very different, when it comes to life, we have similar experiences, except for when it comes to dating. Complete opposite experiences. So would you like to start? Because you started dating a lot younger than I did.
Well, it depends what we count.
Yeah, like, go for it. Tell us. All the juice.
All the juice.
Yes. Or let's just talk about in general sense. Like, how old were you when you first were interested in boys versus when boys were interested in you?
Like,
because I was fully 19 before a boy even looked at me.
Yeah, I was like 12.
I was like 18 before a single boy ever showed any interest.
I was 12.
Yeah. And so what grade is that?
Grade 7.
So is that little, oh yeah, I think I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was like.
And what was that like?
Oh,
Like a little crush, or was it more than a crush?
it was
like interactions.
It was crush.
Yeah. Like
Like,
everyone has crushes.
Crushes,
But your crush,
liked each other
you
back.
actually had interactions with your crushes. I
Yeah.
had next to no interactions.
Yeah, so like 12 was when I started having interactions. Probably just having crushes. I was probably I don't know, I'd have like little crushes from like 9 or 10, but like never
Interesting. Yeah.
wanted it. God forbid if they knew or acted upon it, would be like totally
Yeah.
repelled. Like no, so like 12 was the first time of like interacting with the crush, them liking back, and then not being like, you know.
Yeah.
So like no way.
Yeah, it's like you liked the idea of talking to boys. They weren't like, ew, boys. Icky.
Yeah, I think I always
Yeah.
got along with boys though.
That was like for me at age 12, like I could be friends with and talk to boys.
Yeah.
But I was never interested in them like romantically.
Well, my thing is I could do both, but I wasn't like, I don't think boy obsessed, but like I would develop crush or think, oh, I could like them and talk to your friends about boys.
Yeah, like one thing I will say, we were never like boy crazy. We were never like, we didn't go to parties like with alcohol in high school or anything like that.
I did, but.
You did? In high school?
Yeah, in grade 11 or 12.
Oh.
Only like 1 or 2.
Yeah, true. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, 12 years old, like the hand holding, kiss on the cheek.
Oh, I never did any of that.
Yeah, that was like 12. But like I didn't have my first kiss till I was 16.
Yeah, and that was with your
16.
first proper boyfriend.
Yeah, but we like weren't dating.
Wait, so not your first proper boyfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, it was. But you kissed before you started dating.
Yeah, we were on and off like 3 different times before we started proper.
So what grade? 16's grade 10.
10.
But you didn't first start
16,
dating.
sorry, it's grade 11. It might have been 15. Me, but I was
grade
I was
10.
a month away from turning 16.
But then you didn't start dating till grade 12.
Yeah, because we had a fling for like
Yeah.
2 weeks.
And is that because I swear he liked you in like grade 8.
I don't know.
But like you were friends, so Katie's first. Tell us about your first
Okay.
relationship. You were friends in grade 8, kissed in grade 10. Then what happened?
Well, the end of grade 10.
Yeah.
Kissed at a party, then like kind of not really dating, but like having a fling, as people might say,
Okay,
or a thing
what's
for
a
2 weeks.
A fling for 2 weeks.
Like,
what even is a fling?
well, you talk. So we kiss, we're chatting, you're kind of
but
like
it doesn't-
interested, but you're kind of navigating what it is. So it's kind of like a crush, but you know you like each other back, but you're not dating. Because then I said, oh, I can't. No.
Yeah.
It went for
that's
2
when you
weeks.
said no.
2 weeks.
Like not interested.
Not interested. Then like had a bit of a break. Then tried to like again like.
How soon after that?
I can't remember.
month later.
I think it was like 2 or 3 months.
Katie.
Because then we were like kind of a thing for like a month, and then I was like, no, can't do this.
So between can't do this and then trying again, what changed?
Just the feelings came back, you know, when
So you had feelings, or they did?
No, we both did. I was the one that was like, I don't think I can.
Oh, interesting.
And I think that was my gut telling me that it wasn't right.
Interesting.
But I didn't listen to it because then obviously it kept on coming back.
Again, yeah.
And then the third time, which is when we actually dated for almost 2, it was like a year and almost 2 years. It was like,
I thought it was longer than that.
no, it was grade 12 and then November.
Yeah.
Broke
Oh
up.
yeah. So right before it was about to be 2 years, you broke up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was it right before it was going to be 3 years?
No, 2.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, kiss guy in grade 10. End of grade 10, started grade 11.
Yeah.
Then on and off, happened
Yeah.
twice. Well, just little things, like 2 weeks, and I'm like, no, I think we're just friends. Like, we need to just be friends. Like, no.
So yeah, first kiss was when you were 16. So then we'll come back to your story, but then I'll just say my first dating experience. So my experience, very different than Katie. Nothing in high school. Absolutely nothing. Hadn't even kissed a boy. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Never held a boy's hand. Nothing. Went to a party for my friend's birthday. Like, I kind of just didn't think boys looked at me. Like, I had guy friends that I'd talk to, but like nothing romantic. I went to this party and I kept like looking at a dude that was there. And then like I suddenly, like I kept looking at them but didn't talk to them. And as I was moving around the party, people noticed wherever I was, this dude was like really close by. And I didn't know at the time. I was like, I don't know what this is. And then like I kept just like moving around, and like then we started like talking later in the night, whatever. Then like somehow got my number or something. Then we were chatting, went on a date. Very innocent, just chatting, got food. I think maybe we went on a second date. I don't know if it was the same date. Oh, I think it was just a date where we went to the driving range, and then afterwards we got food. And that was really awkward, like car alarm's going off. It was like really awkward, like on that date, it was like a driving range. Like I felt so uncomfortable. Like in between every time we hit a golf ball, he came up to hug me. I'm like, oh, dude, we're in public. And this is also, have we told the anecdote somewhere? I think maybe on YouTube. This guy would also send me videos.
Sorry,
on Snapchat,
who we were talking about
of him singing in the shower.
I definitely said that once because he'd been serenaded.
Yeah, so that might have come up in a podcast or YouTube video, don't know where, but yes. So this dude, when we were in our talking phase, he would send me Snapchat videos. You couldn't see anything, but it was just like he would set up his Snapchat like filming like a bottle of soap, but you can hear the shower water going, and he would sing. What song would he sing?
I have no idea.
A lot of different, like Coldplay.
Okay, also too, at this time, me and Emma still shared a room, so if she opened it, I would hear it sometimes.
Yeah, so I would like,
or she would turn it down, put up to your ear, and be like, "Oh."
And then Katie caught on. So then, whenever I got them, because also I still, after he rejected me, I still received these videos for a while afterwards.
Then I remember saying like, maybe you want some feedback.
Yeah, and the sad thing is the singing was sometimes okay, but other times it was not good. So yeah, that was my very first date. We never kissed. Then after that, I had like a sort of thing with the guy where we met, went on a few dates, never held hands, hugged hello and goodbye, went on like 3 dates. And then my friends like very much pressured me to be like, tell him you like him, you want to be with him. So like I did that. Don't know why I listened to my friends. He was like, whoa, don't want to date you. And then we just became friends. And then after that, I was like dating, like I just felt like so, like we weren't friends straight afterwards, but we became friends later on. Like a few months later after it like dampened down, cooled off, whatever, like I got over it. And then I downloaded dating apps. So the first bit was when I was 18. This bit's now when I'm 19. So like, yeah, like had a thing with that guy who's like became a friend. And then after that, to get over that guy, I was like, let's download Tinder, dating apps. And yeah, 19 on dating apps. Like it was still like a bit taboo, but not that too. Like it was
also,
pretty normal.
Like, wasn't it just Tinder?
It was just like, that was the only, there was no Bumble, there was no Hinge, it was just Tinder. And it was very interesting. So I was basically like, yeah, I was a virgin, hadn't even kissed a boy on Tinder. Very scary place.
Yeah.
Very interesting, very brave. Had a lot of weirdo conversations, but I did go on dates with people. I went on a date with a guy. We went on like 2 or 3 dates, and he was the guy that ordered bubblegum and pink and bubblegum and rainbow ice cream. So we were lining up to get ice cream, this dude. He's like a very manly dude. Like his job was like in uniform. Manly man to me. Then as we're on this date, he was like, what kind of ice cream are you gonna get? I was like, oh, I don't know. What are you gonna get? He was like, I think I'm gonna get bubblegum and rainbow. And I thought he said that as a joke. And I was gonna make a comment, oh, haha, funny, are you 6? I'm so glad I didn't make that joke, because he legitimately thinks those are the 2 best flavors in the world. And I was like, okay. And
it's 6-year-old girl as well.
that says enough. That says enough. And then yeah, like went on multiple dates. I was kind of like, it wasn't my hoe phase, but it was like my it was my version, my 19-year-old version of a hoe phase of basically like in a week I could go on 2 to 3 dates with different people.
Yeah.
Like I was like that was my casual dating phase. And it was like a lot of guys I was maybe talking to 5, 6 guys, go on a date with one, didn't work out. Okay, I'm talking to like 3 other guys, got backups. It's not like that anymore. And then so I was like talking to a few different guys, going on multiple dates. So like a lot of them I said, hey, like I've never kissed a guy. Kind of like just letting you know, like I've never dated anyone properly, never kissed a guy. Because at 19, it's like they asked like, oh, have you had many relationships? It's like, no, zero dating experience, but we're trying now. And I remember I told multiple guys I never kissed anyone. So when it came to my first kiss, a guy kissed me that I didn't really want to have my first kiss with, but he kind of just planted it on me, and it kind of surprised me. and didn't know what to do, but we kissed. And then I dated another guy for like a few months. Like he was like my first like relationship, and he thought that he was my first kiss. I will go to my grave saying that that he was my first kiss. Because the other one, I was like, it wasn't really reciprocated, but I had no idea what to do. Like it wasn't bad. Like I wasn't in danger.
First kisses are daunting.
I just was like, 1 second we're doing one thing, next minute, oh, he's kissing me. Okay, I'll follow the leader. And then I was like, and then afterwards I was like, wish he didn't do that, but it was fine. Like it was consensual. It was fine. It wasn't anything icky. Like I leaned, once he started and I knew what was happening, I leaned into it a little bit.
Probably took like
it just I didn't have a re-jerk reaction. I just had a more, oh, this is happening.
Oh, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, like
oh,
this is what it feels like.
Whether like my first kiss, like no,
well, usually there's like lead up to it, you know, like they lick the lips and they look at you and they have the face. But this dude, he just went for it.
Bam.
And I think because I was so like, I'm sitting next to a boy. This is so like I was not frigid, I guess a little bit. Like I couldn't even look a boy in the eye sometimes. Like we'd be sitting there and I'm just like, I'm not gonna look at you because if I look at you, what if you kiss me?
Yeah,
like, I was fearful of it. I was awkward.
I'm like, if I make eye contact, you couldn't just
like,
make a move.
If our hands accidentally brush, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, you know, like
God forbid, like you hold hands.
It was just so new to me, and I was so much older. And I think in hindsight, I actually am happy I was much older because one, the people around you, they kind of know what they're doing. So it's like, feels a bit more like with the right person, it feels very comfortable because they can talk you through it and it's like, it's not new to them. So you don't have weird, like you're clashing heads and you're not both clueless. I'm clueless, but they can like tell me what to expect or like communication. This is when communication is key. So the first guy, when I met him, he was like, I want to kiss you. Is that okay? And to me, that's a good first kiss. Like we were watching Moana, it had finished. He turns to me, is it okay if I kiss you? And I go, yes.
Aww, that's
and
sweet.
that to me, that's a sweet, that I count that as my first kiss. The other one, we forget that happened. This one, I'm like, that's sweet. It happened with someone I was like dating, going on multiple dates with. Like we were exclusive, not in a proper relationship, but that's what they do. It's not no strings. It's we're something, but we're not gonna.
You're dating or seeing each other.
We're exclusive, but we're not boyfriend and girlfriend, which I don't know the difference. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But I was just following the lead, you know, following the leader because I had no idea what dating was like, no idea. So yeah. So now do we want to share like our first love? So that's like for me, dating was very different. Casual dating, finding people, dating, short-term relationships. Like that relationship only lasted like 4.5 months. Do we want to now talk about like first proper relationship, first love?
Well, mine, like my first proper boyfriend was in grade 12. So
different experience.
Yeah, different experience. Do I recommend dating in high school?
I think it's good to try.
I think it's good. Like,
I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. But
yeah,
it's good.
like part of me is like it's good to have that experience. Or if you find someone that is great.
Or it's great to
but also don't stress if like you don't have that experience.
Or it's great
in high
to
school.
connect with people from high school.
Yeah, and I think I was just at that time I was quite like social or like connecting with people. But yeah, mine was in high school, so grade 12 in high school. Obviously a bit younger, like he didn't have his license, or like it was a lot of like, you know, at first like couldn't even drive to
and that's
places.
the thing, like I couldn't drive when I started dating, but everyone else could, so I
they
always
could
get
pick
picked
you up.
But like I couldn't imagine being in high school and getting like your parents' permission, can I go out on a date?
Yeah, so a
Like,
lot of
isn't
it
that
was
weird?
like having to arrange.
Oh, and then also telling our parents.
Yeah,
that's a whole thing you have to navigate, and I navigated that. But it was kind of hard, like when you're older, living, like not older, but in your 20s living with your parents, and like you don't have to ask permission, but you have to tell them where you're going. Yeah. It can be all keys. And I hated telling mom and dad where I'm going.
So my first relationship was in grade 12, and it lasted almost 2 years. So it was like grade 12, like at the beginning. I went through till my first year out of high school to like the end of the year, pretty much.
Yeah, was that your first love? Like, what do you think love was back then? Is that different to love now?
Yeah, like,
Like what, like you're in love. Like that was your first love.
I think that was, like we said I love you to one another, and I think we did care about
talk about
one another.
About like saying I love you for the first time. Like who said it first? Was it weird? Was it like, oh my gosh? Like did you believe? Like I know some people had said like they told someone they loved them, but they didn't mean it. And like things like that. Because when you're young, it's like, do you really know what love is?
If I'm being honest, I think I blocked it out of my...
As in you don't remember?
No.
You don't remember?
I think I've blocked a lot of
Interesting.
that relationship out.
Like you don't remember the timelines?
Yeah, just because things ended not the greatest. that like
Interesting, yeah.
going on to like that first year, great, like in high school and stuff, but that transition out of high school, really hard.
Well, it's hard maintaining a relationship. Like they do say, like relationships in high school do not last outside
Yeah,
high school.
and when that
Because you
relationship
change.
too, so we were dating for a year. When it came to like that March, so out of high school, graduate November, December, we also went away overseas
Yeah.
for 7 weeks, and then came back. Things
And
felt
because I had, at the time,
bit
when we went
weird.
overseas, I had never dated. No, I had dated before, but not long term. Like, we're overseas for 2 months, and Katie's like, I miss my boyfriend. He let me take one of his jumpers. It smells like him. And I'm like, whatever, cool. Like,
Yeah.
I wore the jumper once. I'm like, I'm cold. This is a nice jumper. Katie's like, no, like, but she let me do it. But she's kind of like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand
Yeah.
when you're 17, 18, wanting to be with, like, your boyfriend. And I was like, kind
Yeah.
of like, whatevs, we're having fun.
But
in
anyway, we
America.
had like a rough patch in like March, but then got over that, and then things got better April, May.
So do you reckon it was like
June.
a turbulent, like it was like up and down, up and
Yes.
down? It was that classic like
It
young
was.
love where it's very, you think it's very turbulent. Like, would you
Yeah.
fight and argue?
Well, because he was very hot-headed, like storm
Interesting.
away, like
Dramatic.
so it was, I think communicating at times was a bit tricky.
I think also teenagers, terrible communicators.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. Teenage boy, teenage
It's also
girl.
like getting to that maturity level
Yeah.
as well. So it was really hard to navigate.
I
the
will say
first
people that
year.
have long-term relationships from being a teenager, like you have to learn to communicate. Like people that maintain relationships from a teenager into adulthood, like hats off to them because the amount of
Yeah.
like teenagers, you cannot reason with them. They cannot communicate with the amount of hormones raging through your
Yeah.
body, especially for a boy versus a girl. You would be butting heads a little bit.
Yeah, also too, it's like he didn't know what he wanted in his future. So he was figuring out his own stuff.
And I think
And that you
the way we're similar is we're both very driven people.
yeah, so I'm like,
You knew
know what
even
I
in high
want.
school, when Katie didn't know what she wanted to do, she made it her mission every
figure
single
it out.
day to figure it out. When you dropped out of uni for a semester, you knew 2 months in, and you took off 6 months off. You knew 2 months in what you were gonna do the following year.
Yeah.
Like you're someone that you're one to take a step back, but you figure shit out straight away.
yeah, because it drives me mental otherwise.
So being with someone that had no idea what they wanted to do, had
and that,
no
and
drive.
look, that's okay, but like
yeah, and they took time. Like
they
being a teenager is
obviously
hard.
needed to sort out their own stuff and couldn't, spend time
Yeah.
with me in the
But
end.
yeah, so even for you though, that was still a long-term relationship where you
Yes.
kind of knew the steadiness of being with the same person.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to say about that?
I don't know. I don't think
We can
so.
come back to that.
It might
But yeah,
come back.
So the difference I
segue
think
back.
between Katie's first relationship and mine is very different in the sense like you had a steady long-term relationship where they would come with you to family dinners. You'd go to each other. You'd be each other's plus
we spent
ones.
birthdays.
You
I
spent
knew
time,
I
extended
did know
periods
his
of time.
parents very well
Yeah, it's
because
like our whole family went to their whole family's house. Like
Yeah.
the families came together. It's like how often when you date someone do your parents meet their parents? I mean, when you're a child, it's totally
and
different.
that's what I also think that they did love me when I did like question it is like someone wouldn't be so adamant on your parents meeting each other's
and caring for your family.
the families if like they didn't care about you. They wouldn't be so adamant of have your parents meet my parents. Like they were so persistent on like having that. I was like an anxious like oh gosh,
You're,
this
like,
is like
nightmarish.
like the worst thing ever.
But it was so lovely.
It's
like
lovely,
it was.
and it's because they care, and like
Yeah.
that was a really nice aspect of it.
Yeah, and when you're still young, it's just nice. It doesn't feel like we're getting married one day. Like,
No,
there's
and
never
also
anything like
too,
that.
it's like it makes sense because also you're still that young age that you do have to ask your parents, "Hey, can you drop me off?" or "Hey, I'm going
so
to
they'd
their
have interactions,
house,"
but then it's
like-
nice having that formal. We want to get to know your family. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so there's like an aspect of that. Whereas for me, like I told you, like the Tinder, the dating, the really short relationship that wasn't proper boyfriend to girlfriend. Then when that ended, we went to America. Then when we came back from America, I was like, okay, we're over the first dude that broke up with me, my first relationship. Exclusive, not boyfriend, girlfriend. Went to America, came back, and I was like, so I was very social. I was going out with friends. I was like, we're going back on the dating apps. And at that time, there was multiple. There was Tinder and I downloaded Bumble. I discovered Bumble, so got a variety. And then I was, using the apps. I was like, and this is when I truly believe this was my quote unquote hoe phase. Not that I was like being physically. It was I was very much casually dating, talking to multiple guys, meeting people, like that sort of thing, going out with friends on the weekend, like going out for drinks and meeting guys out and stuff like that. Like that was kind of like me more leaning into casual dating, and I don't regret any of it. I think everyone in one stage of their life or another, to kind of know what you don't want, like to know what you want can be a process of knowing what you don't want. So if you're not lucky like Katie, who's just had 2 relationships and that's it, it's like if you're someone that was like me, never went on a date, guys never looked at her, it's like just go on dates, like download a dating app, go on dates, like see, it makes it really clear, as long as you're safe, obviously. Like I would always tell a friend where I was going, where I'll be, like, you know, the details. Like I always make sure someone knew where I was, or if I was meeting them there, if they were picking me up, yada yada, to be safe. And I've never had any issues with that. But does it cross my mind? Yes. Was there ever an issue? No. You just use your spidey senses, you know. But I do recommend, like, makes it really easy to know what you don't want. And like sometimes I've had bad dates, but sometimes it's like I had a good time, but I don't feel anything, and it's like cool.
Yeah.
And I made friends, guys that things didn't work out, I was friends with them for like 3-4 years after, and things like that. So it's very worthwhile. But yeah, so I went through this like hoe phase, went out with friends, then met a guy out who I had matched with his best friend. And then I met up with the guy who I matched with and his friends and my friends. And we were all like mingling, dancing on the dance floor. The guy I matched with left. The guy I didn't match with at the time, well, didn't know I had matched with. We hadn't talked. I matched with his friend. He stayed, and then I ended up dating. I ended up talking to him, and this is when it's my hoe phase. I was talking to him. I was talking to his best friend. At the same time, his best friend, who I matched with originally, was like, stop talking to him. He's gonna want to date you. I'm going away for work, and while I'm away, like I want you to be single when I get back, because otherwise when I come back, while I'm away, he's gonna swoop in and try and take you.
I love how they both knew that, though.
Yeah, they both knew. I was talking to both of them.
Communicated that. It's so funny.
And they were like, yeah, he was like, he's an asshole, don't listen to him. And he's like, I want you, forget him.
Yeah.
Like, they're best friends. I was like, guys are cutthroat.
Well,
like,
let the best man win.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, yeah, and then I realized I wasn't interested in the guy I originally matched with. Went on a date, we kissed, awkward kiss. I was like, ruled that out. He went away for work, and then obviously this dude slid right in. We dated. He was like my first love. So like for me, yeah, that first relationship I had before this guy was kind of like first kiss, first, you know, staying over at a guy's house, first that kind of thing. And then this was more like, yeah, like first love, first proper boyfriend, girlfriend relationship, meeting their family, meeting all their friends, like actually integrating your lives together. Like I would hang out with all of his friends. He would come and see some of my friends. We'd go to parties together. It was the first time I had like a +1. First time I had someone to bring, like to come over for dinner with my parents.
And isn't that just the best feeling?
Yeah, like after having like kind of like shitty dates or like relationships where I felt like they're hiding me from their friends, to have someone that opens up you to your life and your world, and I remember
embraces you.
And it was like it was a struggle to get there though. Like we were interested in each other, and like from January, didn't start dating till the following August. So that for me was very anxious. Like I was very anxiously attached. I think he almost broke my heart before we even started dating. So rough. So like ladies, if a guy says he isn't ready, walk away. Walk away. But you know, you can't help though. Like we literally fell in love before we started dating. We didn't admit it yet. So I remember the exact stage where we said I love you. And when he said it, it was almost like a relief. When he said I love you, I was like, oh, I love you too. Like it was
so easy.
No question about it. I can tell you the exact point it happened, the exact point we said it, like the exact point was established. And it does change things. It changes the feeling. You feel so much open. You feel so, yeah, you feel like you can feel it. Like it's that kind of love was different to all the other dating, all the other guys, all the other stuff. But then comes with love comes first heartbreaks.
Oh.
And we were both heartbroken at the same time, around the same time. Your first love broke up with you in November. Mine broke up with me in Jan.
Yeah.
So it was rough.
So we were sad ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
And we talked about that in our last episode too. Like breakup. We don't need to talk about the breakup.
No.
But now going flash forward, so that's like that brings us to like 2020. So now that's like our dating in like our young teens, early 20s, first love. Me, that's what I know love is.
Yeah.
Obviously now like I said in the Would You Rather, when I was younger, I went for sparks, hot fire flames, and I realized like that relationship only lasted about 6 months, not even 6 months. So it's like you can feel that deep love, but it's still like love isn't enough. It still didn't work out. Whereas you're kind of confused about the whole first love bit. You've kind of blocked it all out.
Well, mine is just because it didn't end. end very
Yeah,
well.
neither did mine.
And I think
mine didn't end well either, but I can still think about the relationship.
I think
in a nice
my
way.
relationship
was
went
turbulent.
on a lot longer than it should have.
Yeah, whereas-
and I had so many gut feelings about it. Like I said, it ended in November, but I was hesitant. I was this close to breaking up with in March. So, but then it got better.
Really? So you
and
kept
worse.
dating for like 10 months after you thought you were going to break
Well,
up.
March, right?
Yeah.
Was
to
a really
November.
low point, but then it got better and better. And then in August, it started to go down.
And this is when you
And
have to
then
be
it was
careful of like
woo.
what you accept. Like you accepted certain things
Yeah,
that you
that
no longer accept.
I wouldn't. I learned a lot in that relationship, like a lot. But yeah, it was very up and down the last few months. So I think a lot of it is that I don't really look back on it very fondly because it probably went on longer than it should have.
So you remember the bad rather than the good. Because there
Yeah.
probably was more bad than good, not gonna lie.
I don't know. I felt it was a lot of up and downs, and
Towards the
even
end,
and
yeah.
even throughout high school though, like
Teenage boys.
It's hard to like you're learning. It's your first relationship, both like 16, 17, and you're also navigating what it's like to communicate with another person in that way and figure out okay, how often do you see them? Like, how do you go on dates? What are the standards? Like, you're both kind of working out, you know, and navigating what this means, especially from going to seeing each other 5 days a week because you go to school together to then not
Yeah.
having that and actually have to make time to spend time outside of school as well. So
Yeah.
it was like a whole thing.
Definitely. Okay, so now your love life now. What's that like?
Great. Fabulous.
So you're
I'm in a
lo-
4-year long-term relationship and it's great.
Is that all you have to say?
I'm in a great place.
You're in love.
Yes, I'm in love with
And,
the love of
and
my
that
life.
feels really different.
Yeah.
to
No. Okay. Yes. So
talk about that, yeah.
with Aiden, right? When we started dating, a month in.
Well, tell us how you met first.
So, well, we went to high school together, but we knew each other, but didn't really know each other, you know? So we knew of each other.
Yeah.
You know, I had a few classes in grade 10 with each other. I was
Didn't
forced
like
to sit
him,
next to him in science and found him really annoying, okay? Anyway.
Boys mature eventually.
Then we have like a mutual friend. So New Year's Eve party. 2021. So I was single for a whole year. Like 2020. So I was done at the end of 2019. 2020, I was single that whole year and I wanted to be. Plus COVID, couldn't really go anywhere anyway. It's the perfect time to be single.
Yeah, same.
And like sort yourself out. Anyway, I was invited to the New Year's Eve party, the end of 2020 going into 2021. And Aiden was there. And I decided like I wasn't a person that always went to parties and didn't know heaps of people.
Yeah, I remember too, I had a party to go to and you were like umming and awing and I was like, well, I have a party to go to. I don't want you being here alone.
Yeah.
You could come with me or just go. Like I was like, this could be good for you.
Exactly.
See friends you haven't seen in a long time because
I was only going for 2 friends that was there.
Obviously, by the end of 2020, there was no lockdowns or anything, no restrictions at that time. Like, we weren't having to stay at home. But also, it's like we had still isolated ourselves because we weren't feeling our best. So, like, you probably wouldn't have seen these friends in months.
Oh, no, I was invited to, like, a Halloween party, and I didn't go to it.
So
I was thinking, they keep on inviting me to things. I should show up.
So, like, I encouraged her to go. Like, go see your friends. You haven't seen them in a while.
But anyway, at this party, I didn't know everyone. So, I hung out with, like, Aiden, his group of friends, because I knew of them from school and everything. So, that's when we started, you know, chatting, getting to know each other. We did kiss at that party.
At New Year's? Or
Yeah,
at midnight?
New Year's. No, at midnight. At like 1:30 a.m.
So who did you kiss at midnight?
No one. But then
he should have gone for the midnight.
Right, but then we ended up kissing anyway, and then from there it kind of like I've never had a kiss. Like obviously I've only kissed 2 people. I've only kissed 2 people for starters. So only the 2 boys that I've dated. And I didn't know what people were like when you kiss someone. It's like fireworks.
And when you kiss someone, like when you kiss someone, you get used to how they kiss. So the first time you kiss someone new, so different.
And also I wasn't sure if this is because I was drinking or not, but it felt like fire. And I was like, oh, is this what it's supposed to be like?
Oh, you not kissed good before that?
I think it's the person, the other person.
Interesting.
But I was like, I didn't get that firework, that really strong, I guess, attraction. Like, also, like, Yeah, like
Yeah.
So
No, I
couldn't
do know.
stop thinking about that kiss. Anyway, and then we like started to hang out.
You couldn't
talking.
stop thinking about it. It sounds like something out
No.
of a romance book.
Like I couldn't. Like I was like, it
Did you
kept
want it to
on
happen
playing in my
again?
mind. Yeah, but I was so unsure because I'm like, this feels so like sudden. Like how can I just be talking to someone like someone like me as well? Because I've only kissed 2 people. Like I was in a long-term relationship. I've never really dated or anything. So I'm like, if someone like me, like I've never kissed, just go to a party and just kiss a random person.
You're not going around
like I'm like, it's the
kissing
first
people.
time I'm single, and that was like when I was single too. I was like, I want to be. It's funny because I remember dropping you to the party, driving back to because we were house sitting. I remember it was "Kiss Somebody" was playing in the car by Morgan Evans, and I was like, you know what? Like I was thinking, like I have an open heart, an open mind.
Kiss somebody.
Well, not exactly like I wasn't expecting that night, but I was thinking, you know what?
I'll
I'm gonna
be
get
open.
back out there. I'm gonna be open to being social and stuff. And then I'm like, maybe I'll like start dating like this coming into the new year. I was like, maybe this year's gonna be like my year
To date.
yeah,
To do
and
casual
then
dating.
little did she know that she was gonna kiss a
Kiss
boy
somebody.
and
No, not
love
kiss,
them.
kiss somebody. Like Morgan Evans
Yeah.
did.
Anyway, so
That's so funny.
that was like the start of it all, and after that we hung out and basically made it official like a month later.
Yeah, wild.
And people are like, when you know, and I was like, I didn't get that again because of my first relationship.
No.
Because with my first relationship, people were like, I had other friends that were dating that they're now like engaged and they're saying things about marriage and kids. I'm like, when I was with my first boyfriend, I never thought about that future and stuff. Part of me, a little bit toxic part of me, is thinking I might be together for 3 to 4 years and then break up. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you think that, why are you still with them?
Well, that was my thing. The first guy I dated, he was literally like, I don't think I'm in love with you. And I was like, that's fine, cool, all good.
Yeah.
And we dated for 2 more months. And now I'm like, I would never accept that.
So like with
Because
Aiden,
when you don't know what it's like. So it's like, I was like,
Exactly.
I don't know what
You
love
have
is.
nothing to
That's
compare
fine.
it to.
I'm happy chilling with you. Like, we're hanging out. It's
Exactly.
cool. Like, I like you, you like me. That's enough. Because
Yeah.
you don't know what love is.
exactly.
But once you know what love is, you know what you're willing to accept.
So,
and
well,
not
I mean,
accept.
Aiden, I'm like, well, yeah, we made it official a month later, and then we hung out a lot.
Yeah,
like
when
in
did
the
you
first...
say? Do you remember saying I love you? You said it
Yeah.
first.
Well, apparently Aiden did, but I didn't quite hear him because he was a bit mumbly. So then I said it like I think the next day or like a few days later.
Not knowing he already said it.
Yeah.
So how did you reply?
Well, I didn't because I didn't hear him.
So what did he think? He thought you didn't love him.
I don't know.
Go ask him.
But I remember because
And then
I
you
said
said it the next day.
and he's like he said so easily, like I love you, and like
And you're like, oh.
yeah, and it wasn't until a
Because you
bit
thought
later.
you were saying it first. And then when did you find out you didn't say
Oh,
it
because
first?
and I was really nervous saying it as well. Cause I'm like, it's been on my mind. When you're like thinking like, what are you thinking about? And then you go like, oh.
You're blushing talking about it now.
No, because I'm reading at you. You go all nervous, like, but then like, what are you thinking about? Because you're thinking about how much you love
No. I don't think about that. No, I do. But like, I just said it when I thought about it. I don't know.
them. Yeah, but
I was kind of waiting. No, I waited for my first boyfriend to say it first. But I
Yeah.
had already felt it.
yeah. So apparently he said it first, but I didn't really.
Or you know what? My first
Hear him.
boyfriend, before we were boyfriend and girlfriend, he would do that thing. He's like, bye, love ya. But didn't mean it. But it's like in a
Yeah.
friend way. Like, love ya. As like a joke. And I'd be like, oh, okay, bye. Like, love you too. But I wouldn't say it.
Yeah.
And then so there's so many times where I thought he did say it. But I think he just said it in a friend way. And he'd like jokingly
Yeah.
like, mwah, love ya, bye.
Yeah.
When we were friends. But then we started dating. He was like, he messaged me and was like, I can't wait to see you because I want to tell you this. And I was like, what do you have to tell me? And he just messaged it to me, I love you.
Yeah.
And then when we saw each other, I said it, and then he said it back. But yeah, it's wild. Yeah. So I didn't have that idea of like feeling nervous to say it because I already knew he
And
loved me.
well, my thing too, it was so early.
Yeah, when did you? Because for me, it was like 8 months of like trying to date this guy, and then 1 month into our relationship, it happened. But also, it's 9 months of being interested in
Yeah,
someone.
whether we kiss, talking, month later, relationship,
And then when did you say I love you?
like 2 weeks later.
Whoa. Yeah.
Like really, really fast moving. And
Was
it
that
was
scary?
but also I was like, but I know it. Like I was so confident in how I felt versus
Katie's-
first relationship, really like
Like you said, you
unsure.
blocked it out. You don't know when anything
Well,
happened.
yeah, and also too, like it took 3 goes for me to be certain, like that I wanted to
Yeah.
date them. Like this one, I was like, whoa! Now I get what people say when you know, like.
When you know, you know.
But,
Sorry, why
like-
do you say that?
Right, but I'm like, I get it. I was like, get it now because I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just so sure of myself, so confident. Like, this
Yeah.
is exactly how I feel, and I'm not scared.
Yeah, I'm different now because I'm so much older. I'm questioning what I believe love is, which is so different. Yeah.
Yeah. And also too, like, it's like finding someone, like, any conversation we had a lot of deep conversations very early on of like what we want in the future. Everything was like aligned very,
Yeah.
very nicely.
That is nice.
And like a lot.
And
So
did it feel easy?
it felt easy and flowy and just like
Yeah.
we were so open about talking about anything and everything.
Yeah.
Like it was just really nice foundation at the very,
Yeah.
very start.
And where do you think you're at now? Or is that it?
Well,
Like so beginning of relationship versus
Yeah.
now. Like what's
Well,
the difference? Like
we-
tell people, like explain to someone like me that's never been in a long-term 4-year relationship. How does that change from like your honeymoon stage?
well, we live together now. Like,
Yeah, so was that different? Was that weird?
So,
at first?
well, also too, we lived together again early, like 11 months. 11 months? Yeah, 11 months into dating. So less than a year. We then lived together. But we also spent a lot of time. Like, I went to his parents' house, like, a lot of weekends, majority of them. So, like, spent a lot of time. Yeah, so we lived together. We've been living together.
Or you'd stay at his parents' house
Yes.
every weekend?
Yeah, so we already, like, spent a lot of time together. It's like, living together, it just worked. And it was really, really good.
And I've lived with them.
Yes.
It's when we first moved out.
Yeah, because we're already moving out, and he was like, well, yeah. Anyway,
It worked.
it just worked out like that. Everything just in this relationship felt very easy and very flowy. And
What do you feel like your future holds?
well, we're gonna eventually get married, have kids, buying a house.
All the things.
So yeah.
Yeah. And you're 24.
And it
It all feels
24
right,
and it
no rush.
it feels right. There's no rush. Like again, we're very good at communicating with one another.
Have you always both been good communicators?
I think so.
That's good.
I mean, there's things like that would at first in the relationship, I would get a lot of triggers from like my past relationship and things that maybe weren't communicated well. But once I communicated that made me feel this way, and we were able then to like communicate a bit better.
Yeah, the way
or
Katie
stuff.
always explained this, and I've never really experienced a proper healthy relationship, and I'll touch on that a little bit before we close off with our lessons learned, is that like dating, you have to, this is what I'm learning now. I'm not dating now, but I'm learning things about dating because I want to open myself up to dating, that you can't be so closed off. Everyone's a human, but it's also like with men, being a female, you have to communicate what you want and how you want to be treated, and they then have the choice to do what you've asked them to do or to not.
Yeah.
So it's like you explain it your
So
way.
like in my relationship, if there's something that upset me, that say like there's been like, I remember a time where Aiden like, you know, went to like a friend's house and just didn't tell me, and that like really triggered me from my past relationship because I had a bit of like trust issues. So I said, hey, like just let me, like it's fine if you're out or you go places, just can you please just like
Let me know.
And every single time, or even saying like, hey, like you didn't do this, can you make sure to do this next time? Like you're kind of someone in your relationship, doesn't matter who, but like you have to set the standard. And the thing is with that is like, yes, at first they might not be like here, or maybe something they do upset you, but if you tell them, hey, this actually really upsets you, this bothers me, they will, if they care and love you, they will meet you there.
Yeah.
Like I've never had an issue with, you know, both sides. It works both ways. Like if you have an issue or a problem, or you're just not accepting like a behavior, tell them, because if they're really committed to your relationship, if they really love and care for you,
They'll
they
do
will
it.
meet you.
And if they don't, get rid of them.
Yeah. So
And it's like, and also their reaction to you explaining their needs tells you everything you need
but
to know.
they're not mind readers.
No.
They're not gonna know exactly how you want to be treated. Like there's obviously like human
Yeah.
decency, but you might have to let them know, hey, I really feel loved when you do this, this, and this, or hey, can you please just like communicate a little bit better about this, and they will do it.
Yeah, and if they don't, you get rid of them. And for me, I'm learning that because I had really low standards back then, where it's like someone told me they didn't love me. I'm like, cool, fine by me. Now my standards are up here, but to the point where I have not unrealistic expectations. I have high standards, but it's almost like I'm at the stage, I don't want to have to train a boy. But it's like, you don't have to train, you do have to train them. But it's also like training someone is communicating what you need for them to meet your needs. And I'm learning how to be a better communicator because I'm kind of very fearful of not being able to find someone that's right for me. And like I've had people, like every relationship I've had, so like since my first boyfriend, it's been 5 years. I've only been in one other relationship. I've dated like briefly, like 7 dates with a couple of guys, and then one other relationship that, once again, exclusive, not boyfriend and girlfriend. But every relationship I have, it does get better and better and healthier, and I get better at communicating. I find better quality people, so like, you know, people that are interested in things I'm interested in, but I'm still learning. And it's kind of like that last relationship was like, his communication was really poor. He couldn't deal with his emotions. I couldn't deal with my emotions. I was self-sabotaging. Like, I knew in my gut it wasn't right, to the point where I convinced myself he was cheating on me. He wasn't. I didn't tell him I was convinced he was cheating on me. I just convinced myself, and then so I could be like mad at him. And it was really weird. I never experienced anything like that because I think in my gut I knew it was wrong. And then we broke up like Christmas Eve of like 2022. Yeah, because like it was mutual. So it was like fine. I cried about it for a day, moved on. And I haven't dated since, really, like at all. So I've been single for like now, like if you count that last relationship, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be open to it, but I've like deleted old dating apps. But it's like I'm learning more about who I am, what I want, because what I want now is different to like a year ago even. And I've changed my mind on like what I look for and how I look for it. And yeah, so I've deleted all my dating app. I want to try and meet someone in public, but also I'm out of practice. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to look a man in the eye, especially if he's good looking.
Yes.
It's intimidating. It's scary.
If anyone has any good looking males out there, send them this way.
Any eligible bachelors?
Yeah.
I'm 26, so appropriate age range.
Yep.
Not too young, not too old.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's...
I am single and very available. You just have to get me to leave the house. Which I will. Before this whole ovarian cyst thing, I did have the intention of going places. But I haven't gone to those places because I can't leave the house because I can barely walk.
Yeah.
But now to close. Top 3 lessons you've learned from dating, relationships, all the above.
Can we go like back?
Yeah, we'll go back and forth, yeah.
One would be like just communicate how you feel instead of just letting it upset you and like, you know, upsetting yourself. Like just straight away, if something they do upsets you,
Don't let it stew.
don't let it stew. Just tell them exactly how it is.
Yeah. Mine is don't beg for someone to be in your life. If they want out, let them leave. Let them go. Like, and that's the same. If someone tells you they're not ready, believe them, trust them, let them.
Yeah.
Like, do not beg for someone to date you, someone to be with you, for someone to stay. If they want to
the guys
leave.
outside holding some roses.
Oh, I love seeing
I
that.
just love seeing people
People,
with flowers.
I know.
Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, like if they say they're not ready, if they say they can't do it anymore, don't beg them to stay. Let them go because you're just hurting yourself.
Sorry, I didn't think about that next one.
No, it's okay. I still need to think about my other ones.
The lessons.
I think communication would be my next one.
Yeah.
Being able to communicate. Don't be afraid to communicate your wants. And I used to be someone, I was told I can't ask for reassurance, but you can. You can ask for someone to tell them they love you. You can tell them, these are my love languages. I need this to feel loved. And you're not wrong for asking for those things. Because I was told I was wrong for asking for those things, or it was too much.
Yeah.
It couldn't be given to me, but it can in the right timing with the right person.
100%. My next one is like make sure, especially like this is more for your long-term relationships, but like carve out time aside, continue putting effort to like go on dates with one another and like have that time to like with phones away.
Be intentional.
Yeah, really intentional with like how you spend your time together.
I like that, and that's one I don't have because I'm not in a relationship. My last one would kind of come back to go out and meet people, casual date, because you don't know what you want and you don't want until it's best to get clear on what you want and what you don't want. And even if you don't want a casual date, totally fine if it's not for you. Like Katie knew it wasn't for her, but in your singleness.
Well, I didn't know that. I never was in that situation.
Exactly. But when you felt open to it, like I remember I asked you, like, would you download a dating app? But you're like, no, not for me. Like that's what I mean. If you're not willing to do that, but I think every person in their singleness, get clear on what you want and what you don't want. If you're someone like me that wants to get out there and try, figuring out it's helpful to meet people to figure out what you don't want and what you want, or listen to podcasts. Think about list of behaviors, like what is behaviors you don't accept. What
kind of behaviors would you encourage? Are you someone that expects to be given flowers? Are you someone that likes to be taken out on fancy dinner dates? Like, what is it that you want from a partner? Because you need to get clear on that. Because also, when I first went on first dates, someone asked me, what are you looking for? I had no idea people talked about that on dates. I was like, someone that's not going to cheat on me, someone that's nice, like, which are shit answers, because that's the bare minimum.
They're probably like, what
But
are
it's
you
like
at?
what values, and also knowing what to ask people. Like, it's like when you casual date, knowing what to ask, questions to ask people. Like, I asked, like, don't just ask what their job is, ask them what are their 5 core values. What do they do in their spare time? What's their relationship like with their parents or their siblings? Or do you want kids one day? Like, there's so many things you can ask someone, and I think it's asking the questions, get clear on what you want and what you don't want.
My final one is know your love language. And if you're in a
Communicate it.
relationship, one, communicate your own love language, but know the other person that you're dating, see in a relationship, know their love language as well.
Yeah.
Which you can take there's like a quiz you can take to figure out what's yours, but
It's called the 5 love languages.
yeah. So like, but if you know what yours is and that's how you feel love, but that might not be how
They feel loved.
they feel love. So
And
it's really
some people
good to
receive
know.
love differently to how they
give it.
give love. So I receive love. So the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time, acts of service, and receiving gifts. So out of those 5, they order them 1 to 5 on which one's your favorite, which one's your least favorite. Everyone needs all of them, but like my acts of service is like 3%. I care about that, but it's not the most important thing. In that order, so my top one is words of affirmation. Well, words of affirmation, physical touch, and quality time are all in a 3-way tie. But usually it's physical touch as number 1 or words of affirmation, then quality time, then acts of service, then receiving gifts. But I'm very conditioned and used to giving love by doing acts of service, quality time, and a bit of words of affirmation. Whereas I'm very hesitant to give physical touch until I know it's okay to.
Whether my top one is quality time and physical touch, and then it's acts of service, gifts, and words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation last.
You know why? My first relationship.
You didn't,
It got to the point where they would tell me stuff and I didn't believe it
or you couldn't trust it.
Because their actions were telling me something different to what they were saying. So I dropped.
And we always joke around about this because I'll say, I love you to Katie. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Love you too. Like, she doesn't say it with meaning, but I'm like, I love you. And it's like, we need to film the TikTok where it's like, I love you. Write it down, bitch. I know.
Yeah.
Like, that's me and Katie's relationship.
I find how I give love. One, I think quality time is still like there, but I realize I really love giving gifts to people. I think that is one way, like, to show people I love them is doing acts of service and gift giving, and then probably spending time. Like, but I love giving gifts. Like, if you're an important person in my life, you will receive a gift from me.
It's very different to receiving. And and it's also, this isn't just for romantic relationships. It can be for family, friends. They also have the quiz for couples, but also for single people, because they ask their slightly different questions. Just find out. So it's good. And it's also good every couple of years to redo it, to see if it's changed.
It does fluctuate. Like, mine,
depending
quality
on how you
time
feel.
is always up there, but sometimes physical touch
I feel like your
and
physical
acts of
touch
service
used to be lower
are
down.
tied. Yeah, mine's now like second, and
Because it used to be way lower down.
gifts are like a higher percentage than words after affirmation used to be up there, but now it's like 1%, and gifts is like 5%, and the others are like 30, like something
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the episode. Comment down below if you would like more specific things on dating. So if you want an episode, like, this was just our generic experiences. But if you want us to deep dive into long-term relationships, or deep dive into growing with your partner,
Or like
deep dive
answering
into casual
specific
dating,
questions.
or like, send us, like, if you want a dilemma, like, kind of vibe, asking for advice. Not certified to give any advice, but we can give you
From
our 2
our
cents.
experience.
Or like, if you want to send in, like, send in whatever, like, give us ideas. Comment down below what you want to see and hear. And thanks for listening. Give us other topics, like, so we've covered friendships, we've covered personal development and mental health journeys, we've covered dating. What do you want to hear next? Do you want to hear our health journey with PCOS? Comment down below.
Let us know.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. What do you do on Spotify? Can you like it?
You can
Download
rate,
give
follow
us a
us.
rating, follow us.
Yeah.
Wild
times.
Thank you for watching. This was Girls Unfiltered with Emma
and Katie.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.